that's necessary here. I never forget hearing the story about two boys who were walking in the woods, and they saw this cocoon hanging from a tree. And it was slightly parted with a butterfly wing sticking out. And so they thought to themselves, let's help this butterfly escape from this cocoon. And so they gingerly take this cocoon and they work on it enough to separate it and take the butterfly out. So they're excited about their assistance in helping this butterfly to get out of the cocoon. And so with that enthusiasm, they throw the butterfly up in the air and say, fly. And the butterfly drops straight to the ground. And so they're upset because they can't figure out, after them assisting this butterfly, how come it can't fly? And so they pick it up and they try it again, and again, it falls straight to the ground. And so they're just upset. They left the butterfly there. These two young boys go home and they're expressing to one of the boys' fathers what happened. And so he says to them, listen, the cocoon is a necessary part of the process. Right. It strengthens the wings of the butterfly, while the butterfly is attempting to escape, is actually strengthening the wings necessary for it to fly. And what you did is you disrupted its process.
That's right.
And there are so many opportunities in Legalshield where we're gonna intentionally go through some things and unintentionally sometimes avoid some things that are necessary for the success of your business. And so all the people that once joined me that aren't with me here today to share with you some of the mistakes that I made, unfortunately, some of you have only met me in a position that I'm blessed to have today. And it's only because most of the folks who were with me when I was going through my process aren't here to share with you my process because they quit not understanding the importance of the process.
That's right.
Now the key about those who quit was that they were necessary for me to strengthen my wings.
That's right.
And I used to get upset about the 20 that weren't with me, but I realized the 20 that weren't with me were necessary for me to practice on, so when the real Millionaire Club members showed up, I'd already be an equipped leader, so I wouldn't mess up on the real Mike Hughes of the world. Woo! Practice on the people who want to quit anyway. So there are no mistakes, all the no's that when I was going through them, I wish that I could avoid. They were necessary to prepare me to handle objections today. So be careful trying to avoid certain things. I hope when I set up this group appointment that the human resource director doesn't change the date. That's equipping you to guide other potential group marketers, because you're able to say to them, listen, it's okay when this happens because you just make this adjustment. I couldn't make those adjustments or show you how to make those adjustments if I never had to make the adjustment myself.
That's right.
And so everything that you've asked for, be careful, because now you have to go through what's necessary to teach others how to go through it. So if you ask for a big team, you're going to go through some things so you can relate to the big team that's coming behind you. So I'm excited for all the things you're going through right now. It's the process. Now my honor today, and it is my honor today, to be able to share with you all an opportunity to hear about our past. And we don't want to live in the past, but it's good to know about your past, because I believe the past can help to strengthen you.
That's right.
It can help you to endure. For an example, my great-grandfather, a lot of folks ask me, where did your last name Self come from? It's a unique last name. Well, my great-grandfather was on a Self plantation. He was a slave. And as he worked on that plantation, it was the Self plantation. His name was Johnson, which probably wasn't his real name either. But my point is, he was on the Self plantation in Virginia. And so because they liked him so much, the actual masters at that particular plantation, they named his last name their last name, which is where my last name came from. Now my grandfather was this first Self son. He's my father's father. He never went to school. He couldn't go to school because where he lived in Virginia, he would have to walk over 3 miles because he had to walk past 2 schools that blacks weren't allowed to go to at the time. And so he never went to school. You know what that history has done? It didn't make me bitter. It made me better. Because it allowed me to say to myself in a business like Legalshield, if my ancestors willing to go through what they went through and persevere, what in the world is my excuse for showing up at a coffee shop to do a presentation?
That's right.
So sometimes, all I'm saying is, sometimes hearing about your past allows you to appreciate your present, and it paints a brighter future for you. And so it's my honor today to introduce you to some legends in Legalshield. Not only are they legends and been around for Legalshield for a very long time, but they're all millionaire club members. They're all platinum world qualified. And so they have all persisted. And they're here with us today to share a little bit about our history with Legalshield, their history and their experience. Please help me welcome to the stage right now our legends, millionaire club members, platinum world qualified associates, Mr. Brooks Werkheiser, Mr. Larry King, and Mr. Kenneth Moore.
All right.
Let's give it up for our legends. All right, now, for those who are fairly new here with us, and perhaps you've never been to our international conference like this, let me preempt this portion of our presentation. They don't know how to behave. And so this isn't scripted, and so you may see me interrupt, not based on being disrespectful, but because we may have to censor too much of this later on.
That's what happened last time.
So,
Larry the Cable Guy.
let's just start here. Yeah, I already know. So let's just start here. Let me face a little bit more towards here. Mr. King, I'm talking about you. So we're going to start right at you, Mr. King. And why don't you share with us where you're from and how long you've been with Legalshield and how you got started in Legalshield.
You know, Darnell, I was born at an early age.
Oh, it starts already. Get her on.
I'm from my mother. And I've been around here since this thing started.
Pretty much.
You know, I'm from Arkansas, and I'm going to try to talk where Tony can understand me. I got my southern brogue with me today. And, you know, a man named Wilbur Smith invited me to drive 200